Hello, it's Stephanie with Coffee Paper Scissors. Hopefully I'm talking loud enough. When I turned my camera on, it makes a noise and it sounded very quiet. So, all right, you guys, I'm going to try and make a grungy journal. My last video, I made a couple of things and I think it's grungy, but this is something that's hard for me because I don't know. Maybe I'm a control freak and I think grungy requires a little bit of just letting go. And that's a little bit hard for me. I'm going to use a little bit of scrapbook paper. This is one that I found at a thrift store a long time ago. So who knows when it was available. It's Paper Studio, but it has lots of things that I would consider, like the grungy look. So I pulled out a few of those. And then also Theodosia Square. Now this is an older one. They have a new one. This is the older pack, again, Paper Studio. And the ones that I pulled out, I partially used that one. These ones I'm thinking I will use to back a few things because it's light enough you can journal on it. And then these are the ones from the Newsworthy that I chose. And I'm going to, grunge up the back side of them. This one. And then I went through just stuff, and I'm going to work on grunging up all of this paper and a few bags. That's from an art salvage store I've only been into one time, and it's moved since then into a bigger place, so I really need to go back there. But I kept the bag. I mean, it's probably been 2 years since I've been in there and I still haven't used the bag. So I'm going to use these things up. This is a paper bag that I had used. Actually, I think I just got that one, so I tore it up. This is stuff that I got at an estate sale one time. Ideal. I don't even know if this is still in existence, this company, but I'm sure they don't care if I advertise for them. They had a whole box of stationery. So these are a couple of the things that I showed you guys in the haul video from a family member. And then some different colored notebook paper. This one has a little bit of a grid on it, which is kind of cool. Some music, just ledger, some smaller stationery type stuff, more ledger. So I just kind of went through and I grabbed a different, so I don't know that any of them are the same, the ledger paper. They're all just different in their own way. This is, I don't really even know what kind of paper this is, but I'm going to grunge it up. And this one, a doily. And then this was a bag that I've used in other ways, but I'm going to, cut it down or tear it down to make a couple of pages out of it. And then some really big paper that my friend Donna gave me. I figured I can get a couple of pages each out of these. So I have a lot of grunging ahead of me, and I thought maybe after I get them kind of coffee stained, then we can see what else I can do to them to grunge them up and hopefully show you. I don't need to show you coffee dyeing. I'm just going to dunk it in some coffee. Maybe a little bit less precisely than I normally do. Maybe I'll just do some edges and then some splatters. We'll see. Step 1, I have been working on coffee dyeing. And this is the overflow, what didn't fit on the kitchen table. So I just put out an old beach towel. And I've put a couple of pieces of the vinyl type stuff here and there just to add a little something. And then I'm going to slowly move you over to the kitchen table, and you can see what I've got going on over here. I have a fan blowing on it. It's almost dry. I'll show them to you individually as we, sorry, that was kind of fast, as we go and add some more things to them. Should be grungy, right? I have a fan blowing on them, so there's a couple who are trying to blow away, so I've put like pins and stuff on them. Okay, you guys, the hard part, I've done a little bit. My inspiration, again, is this journal, and I don't know. It's going to be a challenge for me. I'm wanting to add some gesso. I'm wanting to add some stamping and see what I can come up with. I worked on, I'm kind of like at a loss for words. I worked on, you know, doing all of the coffee dyeing, and I tried to be messy with it instead of, you know, precise. I was trying not to get any pretty stuff, just coffee dyeing. And some like heavier in some places than others. And I think I did pretty good with that. And then I ironed it, and you guys, it's not because of the creases, I promise. Remember, I'm trying to do grungy here, but the reason why I ironed it is because I didn't want it to be so fluffy. I mean, it's now, I know, like a couple of inches when I have all of it, and it was about 4 or 5 inches tall, and you know, that's not good. So that is why I ironed it. And I am, like I said, I've already done just a little bit, but there's no reason for you to sit and watch me do the same thing over and over again. So I just was kind of like practicing it, and now I'm gonna actually maybe do it. I'm just taking some gesso and just smearing it on and doing just, I don't know, I have one of the paint caps and doing some little circles here and there. I have quite a mess of painty papers over here behind me now. I should have moved them so that I had a place to put them. I'm thinking if I do a little bit on every page, that maybe that equals grungy. It's planned grunge. I don't know. These are going to be really small pages, but that's okay. A little mush it. I don't know if I like the mushing. I'll do a little bit more. So I figure if I do white on every page somewhere, and then do some black on every page somewhere. Let's see. I'm running out of space. I have some stencils also. I don't really like, I want it to be a little different than how that looks. I'm trying to get like a little here and a little there, but it tends to go all the way across. I don't know if you guys get what I'm trying to say. I want it to look more like that than, I don't know. Let's see. Stencil. I have some stencils around here somewhere. Underneath. Some underneath. Okay. Maybe we'll go. So I was already using this. Like I said, you guys, this stencil brush is like 30 years old. I've had it for a really long time. This is probably wiggling my table. I'm sorry about that. I'll go up here. A little dry. I remember It's so old that, how old is it? So do you remember when like grapevines and things like that was really popular back in the early to mid 90s? I had a grapes and grapevine stencil. Oh goodness, okay. And I stenciled one of those old particle board shelves. I don't know how many of you guys might remember what I'm talking about. And of course, you know, I did it all in the colors. I could have been crazy and maybe not done it all, you know, purple and green, but it was purple and green, you know, like purple grapes, grape colored. It was grape colored. Okay. You can probably start stacking them now because that dries really fast. I'm going to layer, so this isn't it. Okay, you guys get what I'm doing here. Let's put a couple more of these. Maybe off the page a little bit. And I'm getting another page at the same time. Okay. And then that's fine. All right, you get what I'm doing. So I'm going to go ahead and put some white on the rest of these. All right, you guys, I am going to do some stamping, and I'm not going to think about it. I'm just going to stamp. I've never used this one before. I've had it for a really long time. Hopefully it works well. I'm going to go kind of there. That's where I'm going with it. All right. So I went through and I kind of inked over a little bit on the where I did the white paint. I did a little bit of ink over the top of it, not on all of the pages, but on about half at this point. I don't know if I'm going to do the other half or not. And toned it down just a little bit. I don't know if that was a good idea. I know this is wiggling like a lot. And I'm just going to go and use stamps. I don't have any plan, but I took half of the pages. I've got half of the pages here. And I'm going to put a stamp on half of them in some location. Isn't that cool? Kind of missed the tip, but that's all right. I'm going to have a lot of stamp cleaning to do when I'm done. Let's see, we'll go up in the corner. And then maybe we'll go ahead and do over here also. And then how about something else there as well? I don't know where, maybe just there. There's no plan. Do one up here as well. Where? We'll do one right there. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just doing. I have this big stamp. I could get like partial. I need to put some paper underneath so I don't get it all over my that thing. Sorry about the wiggle. I'm getting tired. I've been working on this kind of all day at this point. So I was doing a video. I left one of my stamps in the kitchen. I was doing a video, I'll do this one, earlier, but I deleted it because I didn't like it. But I was talking about how I got up early this morning to take my husband to the airport. And so I've been off all day long, just kind of, I don't know, worn out. Let's see, maybe if that's like a bottom thing, we'll go up at the top with this. Yeah, worn out all day long. Maybe we'll do just a little bit on this side. I need to be doing more. I know that I'm doing, like, I'm too light-handed with this, and it should be just a little bit more. I know that, but for some reason, I cannot just let go and let myself do it. You guys, I'm gonna make sort of a, like, okay, it needs to be torn more. I don't want it to be a straight, doggone it. That's frustrating. I just need a bigger. I don't want it to be a straight line where the stamp stops, if that makes sense. So I just kind of mask it off a little bit. I put more ink in my ink pad in hopes that this would go fairly smoothly. I don't know that I've ever used this one. I got it, you know, like at a yard sale or something, but I don't know that I've ever used it. It would probably work better if I put something underneath it. That worked pretty well. Let's see, we'll go, you know, maybe in the center also, so you can do this sort of thing. Yeah, I got home from the airport, had coffee, wasn't enough, took a short nap, but I had been up long enough that it wasn't very, like, it was hard to try and nap. And then I had more coffee, and I had, you know, considered going to the gym, but didn't, because, you know, just too worn out, honestly, too worn out. Okay, move that one over. What else do I have? I have a dragonfly. We could do a dragonfly, right? Maybe coming out the side. I will stop the video here in a minute. You guys don't need to just sit and watch me stamp, right? We'll add a number here. These numbers came from Amazon. I got them a long time ago. I don't know if it's something they still have available. And we'll do all right, so you get the idea. One more. I'm gonna do one more. So again, this sort of thing, maybe right in the center, and it's one of these really big ones, one of these giant ones. So just go down the center with it. I see some stuff getting stuck on it. Come on, come off my finger. I know that my camera is wiggling and I'm really sorry if that's annoying. I don't know what I'm gonna do after this, after I do this stamping. I have no idea. I'm just kind of seeing what I have as I go. That didn't work at all. That's when a cushion comes in handy. One of these things. You can get it from Hobby Lobby or some place like that. I mean, it's fine. It gave a little something, but we'll do more. We'll do some right down here. So that would be this corner. See if it works. That's better. That's fine. We'll just leave it like that. Okay, so I'm going to sit here and stamp, and then I'll show you. I don't know what I'm going to do after that. We'll see. It has been days, you guys, since the last little bit that I showed you. I've been really busy. What I decided to do, got a little bit of stuff sticking there, was to ink around every single page. That took me 2 days. I did it in little bits because it makes my hands so tired. But I inked around everything. Now these ones, and then I kind of took my thing and just kind of ran it across on some of them. I also inked with different colors, and you may not be able to tell, but I did ink it with different colors. I used like the walnut, I used ground espresso, I used vintage photo, I did black, I did a couple other colors I can't think right now. So these are all inked up. And then these ones here, I did half. They're all inked. All of these are inked up also. But I did half of my stack, I stamped on them. And I only stamped on one side. So I just took stamps, and you saw where I did some of those. It's upside down. The reason why I did that is because I don't think that I want something stamped on every page. And so when I go to put them into a signature, if I stamp every single page, then when I open it up, you know, it's a plan. It's all a plan. I don't know how my plan's going to come together, but that's everything. So what I thought I would do is just start folding. And I wanted to put them in kind of size categories, things that are similarly sized. So for instance, this one is going to be too long to just fold in half. So I thought I would take and use something else as a kind of a guide and do that, and then fold it in like this, so that it's one that's this size now, if that makes sense. And then once I get them all folded, I will put them together into signatures. And of course, right now I'm folding them all with the stamping on the outside, and I don't know if I want to fold them with the stamp. I don't know, but I can always unfold them and fold them again. It's okay. So what do you think so far? Is it grungy? Because again, grungy's not real easy for me. Well, you get the idea. I'm gonna sit here. Oh, the ones that are like this, I'm thinking I'll use them this way. The scrapbook paper ones. So I'm gonna sit here and continue to make my folds and then come back. Everything is folded. I've counted how many pages I have. I think that I'm going to do 5 signatures with 9 pages each. That is my plan. So what do I want to start with? I don't know. 1, 2, 3. No, I don't like that. 3. I want a stamped one. 4. 5, different color. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Let's see. I like the idea of starting with something like this and then covering it up so that it's not just scrapbook paper, but you can kind of see it there. 3, 4, 5, and I want a stamped one. 6, 7, 8, wait, stamped one. 8, one more. 9. Get the idea? Okay, so I've got a couple more, 3 more. I think I'm gonna do 3 more. I think I counted and that's how that would work out. And then I'll have 5 signatures. Almost there. You saw me put a couple together, right? I'm thinking the last thing I'll do to these pages before I decide to start adding things to them is to put some sewing on it here and there in random places. I'm just gonna do a little bit of sewing to add a little bit more. So, and then I'll show you a couple of the things I add. If that sounds good. So far, I like it. So far, it's good. I mean, it's taken me a long time, but I think that they turned out nice so far. I think it's a good time to call this video done. I've gone through and added some stitching. I think that it's, you know, coming together well. And it's mostly, you know, just like a little bit here and there with some zigzag. This one I went all the way around on that. So just around the corner, down the side. side there. So not every page, kind of just along the bottom. And the things that I'm going to be adding to the pages will also be stitched. So it'll have more stitching than just what you see. I think though that it's coming together well. I don't know why I'm fussing with this. You guys, this has taken me, I think, 6 days. Isn't that ridiculous? You know, I took quite a break from making videos. I don't know, I can't remember how long it was, months. And I think that the reason why I did was because I was working on crafting most of the time, and I was neglecting other aspects of my life. And so I really enjoy, you know, being back in my craft room, but I have to not ignore the other things like I was before. So I think that's why it's taking me so incredibly long to do so many of the things that I've been trying to get done. And if I do something fast, if I get it done quickly, it's generally because I've ignored something else important that I'm supposed to be doing. So a little confession there. Just thought I'd show you all the pages now that it's all together. I wonder how many times I'm going to switch these signatures around because I'll start working on it and I'll get sidetracked and I won't remember what order they go in. Maybe I'll refer back to this video. I like this order, but you know, there's not really any rhyme or reason. Actually, there is. I can't do anything just haphazardly. There's got to be a reason for it. So I'll show you in just a second. Do you see it? Every other one has the paper bag. So I've got to at least keep it like that. I have to have some order in my life. You guys, I hope that you like the way the grungy papers turned out, and maybe you'll give it a try, and hopefully it doesn't take you 6 days to get to this point. Thanks for watching. Bye.